Good morning, good morning. I'll be right with you. Good morning, my friend. How the heck are you this morning? I'm changing things up a little bit this morning. I don't know, you probably won't be able to tell, but I went back to a previous version of stuff. Anyways, welcome to welcome to Men Up with Mike Tuesday edition. This is the beauty of doing online things. We don't have to be picture perfect. We don't have to get everything right. Drop me a note in the comments if you guys are watching. Let me know you are here. I would love to hear from you as always. Today, I should be able to see your LinkedIn stuff. I should be able to see Facebook. I should be able to see websites. Assuming we're broadcasting on the website, it looks like we might be having some challenges on the website, but we will see. Again, reverting back to some of our previous technology. So, Men Up with Mike is the show where we talk about all things leadership, personal development. This is built for the man that wants to excel, wants to exceed, wants to accomplish more, wants to be more, and wants to have more fun doing it. We're embracing the suck, Anne. We did the scarcity mindset yesterday. Today, we are embracing the suck. So today, I want to talk a little bit about the importance of embracing the suck. What does that mean? And how do we actually do that? So for me, this term first came to light in the world of triathlon. And I know that may sound like a little bit of an odd place for embrace the suck to come up. It's typically thought of as a military term. I think it's the Marines or the SEALs. I don't know. One of the branch of military uses the embrace the suck mantra quite often. And it was one, and for the woman who wants to see how it's done, yes, that's exactly it, Anne. That is exactly it. So this first came up with me, this concept of embrace the suck, first came up for me with a fellow by the name of Chris McCormack. Chris McCormack. I'm having a lot of trouble this morning, stumbling over my words. Chris McCormack was a pro triathlete. He won, I think, 12 Ironman championships. He won the World Championships of Ironman 2 or 3 times, and he did it in his late 30s or maybe even into his 40s. And one of the things that when I first got into triathlon, I started consuming all of the information around triathlon. One of the articles that I read was written by Macca, Chris McCormack, and he talked about this concept of embrace the suck. And what he talked about was he moved from short course triathlon to long course triathlon. So he went from like the sprint distance, the short triathlons, to Ironman distance. And what he realized in making that move, whereas in the shorter course triathlons, you prepare your body to go fast, go hard, go quick, make it all happen. What he realized in the longer course triathlon, in the Ironman distances, he not only had to prepare his body for these races, but maybe more importantly, he had to learn to train his mind. And he talked about the fact that in long course triathlon, in iron distance triathlon, and really in any endurance sport, there is no amount of training physically that's going to get you to a point where it doesn't suck at some point. So what he talked about was learning to and training to embrace the suck. And I just thought that was so profound. It hit me on a number of different levels, because while that's true in endurance sport, it is also true in life. It doesn't matter how hard you train, how much you prepare, how much energy, effort, time, investment you put into gathering knowledge, gaining wisdom, learning things. There is no amount of preparation, either physically, mentally, or spiritually, that is going to allow you to avoid the suck. So instead, we need to learn to figure out how to embrace the suck. When that suck hits us, when that shitty thing comes in our life, how do we embrace that? As difficult as that is, because again, we can fight, we can kick, we can scream, we can try and avoid it. We can do our best to avoid those suck moments in life. But the reality is, we largely have no control over when those come up. So rather than practicing avoidance, learning to avoid or trying to learn to avoid those suck moments, what if instead we practice learning to embrace that suck? Again, I've talked about this a ton. It's about that preparation in the calm to prepare for the storm. Hey, sorry, my cat's ripping up my curtain over there. So what if instead of trying to avoid the suck, we learned to embrace it? And when we shift our mindset from how do I train and prepare to try and avoid, to how do I train and prepare to try and be prepared to embrace, when that shitty thing in life inevitably happens, how do I lean into that? How do I embrace that? How do I take that as an opportunity and turn that into a moment where I can learn from that moment? Again, it's that practicing in the calm. Sorry, my cat's driving me nuts here. Hang on. Yeah. I think she's hopped up on catnip this morning. My apologies. So one of my good friends said to me at one point, everything wonderful in life is on the other side of something shitty. So the reality is, it's not about avoiding those shitty moments. It's about learning how to move through them and understanding that what once was hard does become easy. So those shitty moments can start to become easier if we train, if we practice. Again, I was listening to a podcast last week, and the individual that was on, I can't remember his name. He was higher up in the church, and he talked about the heavier the burden, the stronger we become. And when I think of that in the context of weightlifting, we know that the heavier weights we lift, the more plates we can put on that bench press, the stronger we become. The heavier weight, the stronger we become. And the same is true in life. The heavier the burden, the stronger we become. We just have to, no, it wasn't the Pope, Anne. We just have to learn to be able to carry that burden and understand that while it's challenging in the moment, this is, in fact, what makes us stronger. That repetition, those increased sets, those reps of that difficult thing, the heavier the burden, the stronger we become. And again, understanding that what once was hard soon becomes easy. Again, coming back to the triathlon analogy, I remember the first triathlon I ever did was a tri-a-tri. So it was a very short distance. I think it was a 300-meter swim, a 20K bike, and a 5K run. Or no, maybe it was even a 3K run. Like it was very short distance. And I thought, I can do that no problem. I'm fit, I'm in shape, not a problem at all. So I hopped in the pool, went to swim a lap of 25 meters, and realized that I had no fucking idea what I was doing. Swimming absolutely sucked. It was horrible. But I knew that if I wanted to reach my objective, that milestone of completing that first triathlon, which ultimately led me to do an iron distance race, I had to get this swim thing down. And the first time I hopped in the pool, I couldn't swim 25 meters, like literally could not swim 25 meters. It was demoralizing. It was humiliating and a real gut check, because I could have walked away from it at that time. I could have said, this is ridiculous. I can't do this. But instead, I did a little research. I started to learn some of the techniques, the tactics, the tips, the tricks that you need to improve your breathing to swim better. Because really, when it comes down to swimming, a large part of that is just learning to breathe, getting that rhythm of that head tilt combined with the stroke. And when you don't know how to swim, breathing is a real challenge. So I found some online training programs. I hopped back in the pool day after day after day after day. And what once was hard ultimately became easy. And I got to the point where, like I said, I couldn't swim 25 meters when I started. When I did the iron distance triathlon, that was a 3.8 kilometer swim, 3,800 meters. So going from I can't swim 25 meters to being able to successfully swim 3,800 meters, 3.8 kilometers in just over an hour was an incredible thing to see. So it's that practice and repetition and embracing the suck and understanding that everything beautiful in life is on the other side of something shitty. Maybe not everything, but quite often. No, and I didn't know how to swim. I mean, I'd probably done swimming lessons when I was a kid, but I was not a swimmer at all. But I figured, how hard could it be? And how quickly did I find out how hard it actually was? So when it comes down to it, oftentimes we want to prepare, we want to train, we work so hard to avoid the suck that life's going to throw at us. But the reality is there's no amount of preparation, no amount of training that's going to allow you to avoid the suck. When Colleen was murdered, there was nothing I could have done to avoid that suck. There was nothing I could have done. There's nothing that could have prepared to make that not happen. Fortunately for me, I'd been preparing my entire life to embrace that suck, from endurance sports to putting myself in uncomfortable positions, doing things that scared the shit out of me. Public speaking, growing my business, making cold calls in sales, intentionally putting myself in those micro suck moments and practicing for the 20 some odd years prior to that event happening. There's nothing that you can do that is going to allow you to avoid those suck moments. So today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why it's important to learn to embrace those, why it's important to look at those shitty moments in our lives as growth opportunities. We don't get to choose what happens to us. We absolutely get to choose. And again, it's easier said than done, which is why we need to practice with the little things. When our kids irritate us, when we get annoyed when we can't log on to our live feed and something's not working properly, how do we deal with that? Do we get enraged? Do we get inflamed? Do we get annoyed? Do we get frustrated? What if we start watching the language that we use internally? This is fucking bullshit versus, this is somewhat annoying. It's frustrating. It's a little bit frustrating. That self-talk is important to learning how to embrace the suck. So it's taking those little moments, those seemingly insignificant things, getting annoyed, shaking your fist at the computer when it doesn't do what you want it to do. Those are those micro suck moments that you've got the opportunity to practice in the calm, to prepare for the storm. Let's not squander those little moments. What if every time one of those moments came up, we looked at that and we shifted our way of thinking from, fuck, that's annoying, to, all right, here's another little opportunity to practice. How does your world shift? How does your mindset shift? How does the way you see the world shift when you can do that? And again, it's not easy, but it's about having that awareness and catching yourself. So the next time, today, my challenge for you today is the next thing that annoys the shit out of you, take that pause, take that breath, and see if you can reframe that internally. Reframe that into, all right, here we go. Here's an opportunity to practice embracing the suck in something that's, again, seemingly inconsequential. So it's low stakes. But it is an opportunity to practice for those more high stakes things. You know, in business, we see this all the time. How often do we get enraged, frustrated, yell at our colleagues, our staff, our business partners? What if we could handle that a different way? What if we were equipped that when those shitty moments showed up, and especially in business, that we didn't lose our shit? We didn't say something we wish we hadn't. What if we took that breath, we practiced that pause, and we slowed down, and we shifted our perspective to say, hey, here's an opportunity for me to practice embracing the suck. All right, my friends. So today I want you to find one of those things, one of those moments, catch it in your head when you're getting annoyed, frustrated, and see if you can dial that back and start to use that as a moment of practice. I know I'm going to do that today. I had a few things this morning. I had a great workout this morning. My head's in a kind of shitty spot this morning, so I need to push through that. I need to use that as an opportunity to practice. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've said it before. I have these conversations more for me than I do for you. I hope you find value in these. If you do, hop on over to the website, mikecameron.ca, sign yourself up, log in. There is some stuff that's kind of behind that members only stuff. It is free to sign up. I will be doing a draw. We'll be announcing a draw before the end of the year for a couple of books and a couple of Make Beautiful Shit Happen t-shirts. And we'll have some fun over there. All right, my friend. As always, continue to make beautiful shit happen and have yourself a fantastic day.